What's going on, everyone? Little project today. Good buddy of mine picked up this clean low hour 2018 250 exc-f. We got a bunch of accessories came in today. We got Tusk Bar Risers, Tusk orange shifter and shifter tip. We got some black Achirby's side panels. We have an AXP skid plate. This is made out of the high density plastic. We're gonna put that on. Got some KTM swing arm guards. Polysport upper fork tube guards. We got the KTM bar pad. You can put your registration and insurance information or anything like that in the little side pouch. Slide your registration in here. And we have the double take mirror setup. There's the ball down there and the clamp. It all comes as a kit. We're gonna get that on. And I'm just gonna do this, just gonna bust this all out in one video. No messing around doing a bunch of different videos on this one because it's not my bike. So first, go ahead and put the swing arm guards on. See which side goes where. I believe this is this side. Slide them on the back. Get them the whole way up. Make sure they're the whole way forward. Got some zip ties. Try to thread them in here. Got a bend on it. There we go. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I was doing that wrong. There we go. Got it up through so you don't see it. Put your zip tie on like a standard old zip tie. Yank her down with some pliers and cut off the excess. Same here. Get this, sometimes you gotta bend these tips back a little bit. Pull that one tight. Snip it. Move to the other side. Now the chain guard can be a little difficult I'm not sure why they don't make it go around the chain guard. I mean, you can see it's tough to get underneath that. I have a set of these on mine too, and what happens is your chain guard, it actually goes into your chain, so you have to heat this all up and pull it out and then hold on to it so it stays out, or cut this back or put a little notch in it, because if not, your chain's gonna rub. That one's a little tough to reach. You always gotta, these always need bent back. They're always the opposite way. Ah, this one here. That's right, this one here, there's actually no slits like there are in this one to put it through, so this one has to go on the outside. Under the chain guard. You got a chain slider on the bottom that you have to go under. They do have this edge here, a little ridge that you want to keep your zip tie behind. Like I said, I don't have the heat gun here right now, but I will pull this out and heat it up. You got to kind of heat it up pretty good and hold it out while it cools, and then it'll stay away from your chain. Or like I said, you could cut a little notch. This part of the chain guard just goes in. If you could cut that little bit of inset out, you'd be okay too. But once you heat them up, you're okay, they will stay. Or you can just prop it out all night long like that, then it'll go back far enough to where it won't hit. I'm going to take care of that later. Let's move on to something else here. Go ahead and get the side panels on. You can see it right there, how it looks with the white. Now, when you buy these, you get this full side panel for the right side of the bike. You get the partial panel for the other side, and you have to buy the air box piece separate. Get the pain in the ass. The 2017, 18, and 19, the seat bolt is a big pain in the ass because it's tucked way in here. There's your two bolts. And you got one that goes through the subframe down here. T47 Torx. At least that's what I'm using. Oh, you know what sucks? I forgot on these KTMs, this year is kind of a pain. I got to get the whole seat off here so I can pull out the side panels. There's a small screw underneath here, 6mm, so I'm going to go ahead and do that and I'll be back. I'm back. I was wrong. I just pulled that off. I took the seat off anyhow because I had to take the other seat bolt for out the other side. There is no, that was my mistake. There's no bolt underneath there. This will come off once you get everything off that I had off. Once you get the bolts out, you have this one little nipple right here that goes in. And they actually have the nipple already installed in this piece here. Okay, now we can slide this in. Get that little tit in. Here, you also have to get this freaking lip here up over this edge right here. So there's all kind of things you got to be trying to do on this year of bike all at one time to get everything on right. So there, we're slid up and in. Subframe bolt back in. Careful you don't cross thread this one. Like this one. See, sometimes once you take them out, they move ever so slightly. And they can be tough to get restarted. You don't want to cross thread it. I don't know what the torque specs are on that. I just give it a Okay. Seat bolt, that ain't going on yet. Over here, you got the subframe right here and your seat bolt. Smart thing to do would have been to bring the ratchet with me. They do give you this piece here to protect against your muffler burning on there. You just peel that and stick it up in there. Just make sure when you take these out, put your piece on and don't dick around with the rest of your bike, because if you happen to move the subframe or would like push on this back here in the back fender, you'll end up getting this knocked off to where you might have a heck of a time getting it lined up. Now this one, You have this little collar here. I don't think a cherubist put that in the bag, so you got to take this one out and put it in this hole right here. So let's see if we can get that out. I'm gonna try maybe squeezing it with some pliers. Come on, those pliers suck. Got it out. Now we got to get it in the other one. It'd be nice if they would just give you that little 20-cent piece of grommet so you didn't have to do this. You could put a little silicone or something on this to help you get it in. I'm using this pick tool, which just went right through it and made another hole in it because it's slippery AF. I'm trying to get this in without poking a massive hole in my leg. You spinning prick. Alright, we're going to do this from the back side maybe. Let's try that. Nope. Back to the front. I should have just got a screwdriver. This pick tool keeps going through it. Geez, it's going to take longer to put this little piece in than it's putting both panels on. Oh my God. There, could have just pushed it in with my fingers, idiot. Okay. Small bolt with the collar right there. That one wants to go goofy. That subframe, when you take that loose, that subframe moves just ever so slightly. And it just makes it tough. It puts it off a half a millimeter, makes it tough to get started. Yeah. Now we can put the airbox piece on. Like I said, you got to buy this separate. They don't give it to you all in a pack, a kit. This one has the tits on it already also. Okay. Get your pain in the ass seat bolts back up in here. I missed my 2014 that I had, because that you could just, now back here I forgot to put this under the fender. All the plastic removal on a 2014 was so easy. Whenever they re-engineered this bike, everything just kind of became real PETA. PITA. All right, there's the black panels on. Okay, gonna go ahead and get the double take mirror on. This is a 14 millimeter to take the stock mirror off. Get the, not sure what those are. Get the little ball out. The one thing that sucks about double take, this should have a hex fitting on it to tighten it up. It doesn't. You got to put a pair of pliers on there to tighten the damn thing up. You might want to put some Loctite on here. That just screws into your existing perch. It's aluminum. Just give it a little bit of a crank like that. And you got your clamp. If you buy this at Rocky Mountain ATVMC, it just comes as a kit. You can buy a shorter one of these if you want to later on. Here's the double take mirror. Wrapped up nicely. Go ahead and put that on, and of course you loosen it and fold it down when you don't want it up in your way. Okay. Another one down. Let's see what is going on with the skid plate. Finally. Okay. So, looks like we got 2 bolts and 2 little screws. Got a decal here. If you want to get crazy, we'll put that on. Why would you split the backing? Way down on the little ear. Okay. I had it lined up decent, but it all decided to pop off. Go from the middle out. It is a nice heavy decal. It's basically like racing graphics. You don't like it, just peel the brick off. Okay. So this should slide up on your frame right here below the swing arm. And I believe these 2 holes, or these 2 here, let's look in the instructions, will go on. See, they give you these 2 screws with a shoulder on them, or 2 bolts, and these 2 little screws here. So let's see what we're dealing with. exc-f. Oh, okay, so these screws, the 2 screws with the sheet metal type thread, they are just to be screwed in here in this existing little dimple for an extra precaution, I guess. Then it shows them being bolted to existing frame holes right here. So the shoulder will go in there and hold it. So, that out of my way. Stuff I don't want all around here. Of course, the bit that I need is not where it should be. So I'm going to take a walk over here, waste some time, get this bit, which is probably junk, put it on here and try to run these screws in. Wrong way, never gonna happen. Okay, try to find the other one that I just took out of the pack. Should be right here. You can see what they do. They're just, I guess, some reassurance that these don't come unglued and they stay screwed on. 8mm head. You have a bar right here underneath your foot peg. That's where this will go, up over the bar. Okay. Oh, you know what? I got to take out the existing bolts right there. Of course, I'm walking all around and my 8mm right there. These are coated with paint or powder coat. Okay. Put that back up again. I think that one started. Okay, I think we're both started. Just crank them in. Make sure your shoulder is down in the hole. They should have picked the decal up a little bit. They should have put a washer on should give you a washer to put on there so you don't suck the decal up. You have to tighten it up, and it kind of bitches up the decal. They will just bottom out on the shoulder. Okay. You can see that right there from the side. Actually nice, comes up over the water pump there. I may have to put some foam behind that because it may vibrate a little bit against there. Got an extra little sticker. Okay, next we're going to do Tusk Bar Risers. 30 millimeter. These are 1/8 inch to 1/8 inch bars. You can get 7/8 to 1/8 inch if you need to. Of course, you get your 2 spacers, and you get 4 new bolts with an aluminum washer and a little instruction packet. So first we have to clip the zip ties for the KTM bar pad. That will come off, and the little bottom collar right there. We're not going to be reusing those. Put them in the junk box. Got to break everything existing loose. .10 millimeter. Those all out of there. You'll be reusing your top cap. I'm going to put this on the seat. It's probably going to slide off on the ground and get me pissed off. Of course, you will not be reusing these bolts. They are too short. These clamps, they have a dot which faces toward the front of the bike. Knock these bars loose, which they already are. And there goes one on the floor, just like I predicted. Sometimes you got to give them a wiggle jiggle to get them lined up. Get the one that was so kind to fall on the floor. Make sure you have your washers on. And these are Allen head bolts, so I got to go get an Allen for them. If I was smart, I would already have that here. I would have taken the bolt over and checked it when I come over here to make sure I had the correct size, but that would have been too easy. So we're gonna walk back over here now and get one. Hey, it's the right freaking size. Yippee! And when you tighten bar clamps, you always want to keep the gap on the back even with the front, so you just go back and forth torquing them. Now, of course, this is not my bike, so I'm not quite sure where these bars will need to be other than equal left and right. On KTM and a lot of bars, you have these little cross hatches here that you just got to make sure you have lined up so you're centered. I'm not sure where my buddy will want them twisted. So we'll just give them a little light clamp right here. I think that'll be okay for them. I'll just go ahead and crank it. Make sure your bars turn okay. Everything's fine, lots of play. Okay. Still has the factory kickstand on. Total pain in the ass because it springs up every time you do something on the bike. Let's see if we can get this bar pad on. Voila. Come on. Sometimes stuff just has to be so little jerky. I mean, just go down under where you're supposed to. Like, there's no reason to be complicated. I mean, I don't have time for it. You don't have time for it. I mean, Nobody has time for it. Just get around and go where you're told. Very simple. There you go. Now, with that bar pad, as you can see, it's going to be, I mean, you can see the speedo, but it is definitely not as easy to see as before. I mean, you can probably still see your speed as you're riding, but you may have to lean forward a little bit if you want to check it to be absolutely sure. But these are cool. You can pick this up, put your registration in there, then of course just put it back, and then you have this little bag right here which you can unravel, and of course put something in there also. Little change purse. Pretty cool. And PETA kickstand down. Poly Sport upper fork guards. These are basically universal. I don't even know if they have a different millimeter available for the fork tubes. I think it's just one size fits all. They give you zip ties with these to put around. Mine I just have clipped on. I don't even have zip ties on. And of course you can see they tell you to trim this. They have different lines here to trim it if you need to get them to fit on your fork tube. And they give you this foam. That's to go around here and the bottom to help with chafing on your tube, because nobody wants their tube chafed. You just got to kind of get them down in there and stick them. Now these don't cover necessarily the whole area. They're just kind of on the, they just kind of cover the front. One for top and one for bottom on each one. Now I don't know if I have to trim these, so I'm going to put it pretty far up. Like I said, on the ones on my bike, I didn't even use the zip ties in case I wanted to just snap them off quick and clean. That way I'm not always cutting zip ties constantly when I want to clean underneath them. This top one, you gotta have like little baby fingers to get it in there. And you just spread these out and slide them on. You want to get your bike straight and just get them kind of evened up. And I'm pushing these, I push these straight to the top. Just put them on so they're both up to the top. Get the other one. They look pretty good. And like I said, they're tight enough for me on there now. I don't want to put the zip ties on. I mean, they're never going to blow off, That way you can just pull them off if you want to hose the bike or clean underneath them rather than always using a bunch of zip ties. Plus you have some extras now for something else. All right, the last little thing we have here is a shifter tip. This is supposed to be able to be replaced on the factory shifter, not just a Tusk. So we're going to have to grind that rivet out. We have to grind this rivet out of the existing one, either the bottom of the rivet or the top, and take that off. So let's do it. You could use a drill too. You can probably just drill up into the bottom and knock the tip off, but who wants to be a sissy and use a drill? Make sure you put your safety goggles on for this. Still a little bit there. You can take your shifter off the bike and do this too. I may have to even do that if I can't get something underneath here to pop this. Rivet loose. Coming. That's what she said. There's a spring. Take note of that. Oh, look at that. We need an Allen wrench. And of course, I didn't check to see which one I needed before I started. So I'm back over here, seeing what I need. Never put one of these on before, so I'm just trying to get the spring lined up. and everything down through, which I think I have accomplished. And give it a crank. Stuff like this too, you might want to put Loctite on. Okay. There's the old one. Put that in the junk box. All right. Got it all done. Fork guards. Black AXP skid plate. Swing arm guards. Black side panels. Bar risers. Bar pad. Double take mirrors. And little shift tip. Tune in next time whenever we pull up another bike and do a little work to it. I appreciate everybody tuning in and watching. Hit the like button, click subscribe, get on your KTM, get outside. See y'all later.